This FIFA Club World Cup Matchday 3 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Sunday, June the 22nd. We are here to carry on our handicapping of the FIFA Club World Cup, which gets into match day 3 this week. Joining me, his enthusiasm knows no bounds. It is the absolutely dynamic Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I've just seen the first comment from Joe Dollar in the chat saying Baz better be prepared this time. Sorry, Joe. No further along the line in terms of preparation for this silly little thing. But the good news is Malcolm's in good form. Malcolm's paying full attention. Picking loads of winners, so it's very easy. Just swerve anything I give you and steer straight towards Malcolm's picks.
It's almost as if, Barry, this little social experiment that we've done where one person watches the games, then uses the evidence of what their eyeballs have seen, coupled with some deep-rooted statistical analysis, has been a more successful endeavour than someone who hasn't clapped eyes on a single minute of the entire tournament and has just thrown out random picks, willy and, might I add, nilly. Barry, it's almost as if that kind of thing's happened.
We're learning, and we'll learn from that next year and watch more and more football when the serious football starts instead of this friendly pre-season stuff.
There's something gone wrong with the old YouTube, I think, Baz. Can you have a look at that? You're not bothered about that?
Yeah, I've pressed a button, but whether it does anything, who knows?
All right. Someone type something in the chat, see if it's working. I didn't want to ask Barry morally whether you were remotely bothered about picking up a paycheck for having done zero work either. I assume you're going to donate. At the end of the month, you'll be donating this money to the Daft Kids or a similar worthwhile charity, Barry.
I dispute the fact that I've done zero work because I've just sat for an hour trying to pick some games, and I'll be honest, it's difficult. Like, I'm probably working harder with no results and no thanks.
Fair enough.
They just walked in behind me.
She did. I see that.
I'm definitely working, definitely.
Oh, well.
But it's just not been. To be fair, my pre-tournament stuff's going all right. I've got Palmeiras, was it, to win the group? Well, is that the one?
I don't even know.
Might have been them, might have been Pachuca. No, it's Palmeiras to win that group. That's going well. I need Al Hilal to do something tonight because I've got Al Hilal to qualify. And I've got Casablanca, no points. I have seen in the chat Connor is all over Casablanca to win a game next up. I'm opposing that. But yeah, my pre-tournament picks are going okay.
Casablanca scoring a goal is one of the only bad things that's happened over the last couple of days, because that puts the ante-post bet for them to score the fewest. We thought they might get a dead heat with Auckland, but Auckland aren't going to score, and Casablanca have got one. We'd say hello to the chat. You mentioned Connor was first in. Nice of Connor. I know Southampton chopping 40 tonight. The Bacchus family were first in. Courtney wanted to know, why haven't you got a burnt head, Barry? It was short odds on that you would have a burnt head tonight. Is it?
I've done all right. Funnily enough, this weekend's been quite a quiet weekend. It's the first weekend where I haven't been stood in the field for days on end. So I haven't been exposed to the sun so much. I did go out tonight for a bit of a walk just to get out of the house. But that was around 6:30 or something. So the sun was going down by that point.
Andy Williams has joined us. Andy, welcome along. Connor, like I say, Connor was next in. Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar's muted a WNBA game to listen to this rubbish, which is brave. Joe, who else is here? Bob D is here as well. Callum likes my shirt on the Casablanca theme. This is a Moroccan shirt that I purchased in, what's the name of that? Oh, Marrakesh is the answer. Ages ago. It's massive. I've got Newcastle United green shorts on as well, so I'm very much full kit wank. I got out the bath about 7 minutes ago, and I'm still sitting here sweating my tits off. We're going full Club World Cup tonight, Barry. We're involved in all the aspects into the show. We're integrating them. So there'll be a superior player of the show later on, which will be me. So the last show, for example, I was the superior player of the show. And also, it's been a hot weekend, Barry, so we'll be having a hydration break at 30 minutes. So especially someone like you, Barry, we need someone to come in and chuck a bucket of water over you like Royal Ascot, like a big red-blooded, sweating, breathing through the nostrils stallion that you are. In this weather, Barry, cold bucket of water over your head. I've got a flannel handy at 30 minutes, so we'll bait that in. And for the second time in 3 episodes, Barry, we've got an apology to issue.
You've got an apology? What? I don't know why you keep saying we.
There's no I, Barry. We're in this together. Listen, don't say I when you mean we. They teach you that at the meetings, but so yeah, we apologised, didn't we, for handicapping the wrong Auckland team. And last episode, we took the piss out of big fatty Man United Amrabat, Sofian Amrabat, for running around a lot for Casablanca. Well, it turns out it wasn't him, so I will shout out this time. It was F.F. Wiz on YouTube, who pointed out that it wasn't him at all. It was his brother, who used to play for Watford. He looks very much like him, but he does run around a bit more. He plays on the right wing. So it was Nordin Amrabat. Sofian Amrabat plays in the Turkish Super League. So twice in 3 episodes, an official apology that we've got the wrong team and the wrong bloke. So yeah, this is going very well, Barry. Again, though, the complaint was very nice. It was nicely worded. It was very jolly with a laughing emoji on. What happened? I've been to work twice this weekend. Baz, first time in ages. Boring, a little bit dull. Rotary Club of South Shields on Friday night, middle-aged men. But last night was a 21st birthday party in Peterlee, so I thought it might be a bit raj, but it was a bit disappointing. I felt a bit sorry for the girl because no one really came. They hired out the venue. I tweeted a photo of it. Patrick Bacchus actually was taking the piss about the fairy lights and stuff. It was very much Phoenix Nights vibe, working men's club vibe, but not enough people came. There was probably only about 30 people fronted up, and they spent far too much money on it, hiring the likes of me and stuff. But it was good crack. And then drove home through that electrical storm, like a horror film. Like the first 10 minutes of a horror film, me and Harry in the van, just out the rear view mirror was bright. You could see it was still like light evening. And we were driving into the absolute blackness and lightning. It was like we were driving into a portal to hell. So that was all right. What else have I written down? Nicholas Jackson, what an absolute Burke he is. Ill-disciplined, Barry. He should sign for Arsenal, really. He could join that. Ill-disciplined rabble. Another costly red card for him. Goals update. Yesterday was great. 6 and 7 yesterday. 7 in the Dortmund game. 6 in the Flamengo game. And then I went to bed. I thought that was 16 in 3 games yesterday. Just wanted a couple in the overnight game. Would have set us up really nicely. It woke up to a 0-0 between River Plate and Monterrey. They did kick shit out of each other. There was a good old card ladder. I think it was Benedict got on the card ladder. 13 yellows and 1 red. Between Argentinians and Mexicans, it was always going to happen. But the goals disappointed. But today, Juventus 4-1 and Real Madrid 3-1 tonight. We've added another 9 goals on. So as we stand, Barry, 93 and 30. Which is 3.1 goals per game. Extrapolate that. We get to 195.3. The bet's 196. So a 0.7 of a goal away as it stands. Now, we've got one more Auckland City game to come, so maybe that could get us up there.
That's the problem. In the knockouts, you've lost all your worst teams who are going to get back.
But they haven't been. That's not been the problem. It's not been one-sided humpings. It's been loads of 2-2s, 3-2s, stuff like that. I agree with you, though. I mean, the line was 183, the initial line. We've got the little ladder out. So 183 looks in good condition at the moment. But if we can get, if Boca Juniors maybe can rack up 8 or 9 against Auckland, that would help. And we've still got a couple of other dead rubbers possibly to come up as well. I've enjoyed the footy. It's been good. It's been really entertaining again. I see more people on Twitter and stuff have started enjoying it. Lee started enjoying it. Smudger was messaging. It's just been more entertaining. Loads of drama. See red cards, penalties, upsets, all sorts of stuff going on. And I think before we get on to the picks, that's about it. Baz, do you want to tell us anything about your weekend or the football or anything else?
I'm not going to tell you anything about the football. I did see the Nicholas Jackson red card, though. I saw that on Twitter. The only other thing I've seen was lots of breaks. What was the over-under on lightning breaks? That Benfica Auckland City game kicked off at 5 o'clock and finished at about 11:10. It went on forever. I mean, it's obviously, as I was reading an article, because I haven't watched anything, saying as a sort of dry run for the World Cup, it's not been ideal that they've had several long breaks for weather delays. And also the fact that I think this coming week has got a few games in 49-degree heat, which we had in Qatar for the last World Cup, but they had air-conditioned stadiums where places like, I think it was Charlotte or it might be in Orlando mentioned, where it's going to be absolutely red hot for some teams this week. So yeah, that's my only observations from the football. I've had a decent weekend. I was out gigging again last night. I was up in Sheffield for a gig. And other than that, really quiet weekend, which I've quite enjoyed. Just sitting around. I've been getting out and walking a little bit just to keep myself sane. And lots of food stuff going on. You'll have seen some pictures on
yes, Barry. Did look fucking great, mate.
Friday was an absolute delight. I done big Jacob's ladder, beef ribs, short ribs of beef, slow cooked for about 8 hours. They were lovely. And then I had that massive big shin of beef with a bone in. Made a lovely Mexican stew to simmer it away in, and then shredded it to shit and put it in some tacos. Honestly. And I had loads of it was more of like a stock than a stew, but it's got loads of like different Mexican chilies in, tomatoes, garlic, spices. The flavour in it was amazing. And I've got loads of that stock left. It's just turned to jelly after. It's got bone marrow in it and everything. So I've made a chili con carne today, fried up loads of mince, and just oiled all of that in because it's got all of the flavour there anyway. And the chili con carne that's smelling absolutely amazing. That's for tomorrow's dinner. Tonight I've had a massive big steak. Fancied a steak the other day. I went to the butcher's. It's got to be a minimum of 1 inch thick. There's no point in having a sirloin steak if it's going to be a little thin thing. So massive big 300-gram sirloin steak on the grill today. All of this whilst on my diet, still watching that. So doing good. Hit the 5 stone down mark this week, Malcolm.
Jeez,
so another £3 off this week, but still eating like a king.
Very impressive. Update from King Rollo there.
I've got one more thing to bring up. It's a continuation of last week's Father's Day shambles, where neither of my kids got me a card or a present or even acknowledged my existence. Today, I knew something was off because we were driving back from Sheffield at 11 o'clock last night, and Helen must have messaged Sophie saying we need the shop at 11 o'clock. And Sophie, being not very good at keeping a secret, was just like, why have you just messaged me saying we need to go to the shop? And Helen's like, oh, shut up, man. So anyway, it turned out they were going to go to the shop and buy me a bottle of wine. So anyway, about 1 o'clock today, the kids came into the lounge with a card and a bottle of wine. Now, the card apparently, I mean, it said daddy on it rather than like father or dad. Apparently, it was found in a drawer in the hallway. It's probably been there about 6 or 7 years. So they've written a card out. Happy Father's Day, and a bottle of wine, which I might add. I was in the supermarket with Helen this morning when she bought it, and she asked me what wine I would like. So
was that your Father's Day stuff?
So yeah, they've got me a card and a bottle of wine for Father's Day allegedly. Does that get them off the hook? What's your verdict?
No, absolutely not.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I said I'd ask the question. Sophie said,
in fact, that makes it even worse, because what they've done is 1 week later do something properly shit. Go and get them now. Fetch them. I'll tell them. I'll tell it. Absolute. That's dog shit. I mean, I'll be honest, mine wasn't great, but it knocks yours into a cocked hat, Barry, as the saying goes. That's absolutely appalling. Yeah.
So the other, I mean, the laughable thing on the card, it said something about king for a day or something like that. And all I've done all day is cook for everybody else.
Yeah.
And drive people around and all of this. So there was I got treated like no kind of king today, like.
Joe says Barry's getting the full stepdad treatment, which is funny. Yeah, I mean, very possibly they're not your kids, Baz. Although they do look very much like you, which is a shame. Yeah, right. That's funny. Yeah, don't let them off, Barry. No, and the thing is, you can dine out on this for a long time. Like, you've got this up your sleeve whenever. Just keep it for when you really need it. Just play the long game with a guilt trip, mate. Keep it up your sleeve would be my advice. Right, I need to spend 10 minutes touting all my winning picks. You can go and put the kettle on or something if you want, Baz. I'll do that once I've told you first about the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Your 12-person league can draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the stay. Limo ride from the airport, $5,000 tab for stadium, swim in a hotel, and 15% off all Circa properties at all times for our listeners. Promo code SGP15. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP. Yes, so I had the massive sweep, Barry. 4 picks from last show. 4 units staked, 11.95 units returned. So you're welcome, everyone. Go and treat yourself to a small family car or something like that with the winnings. Absolutely smashed the granny out of it. What I was most delighted about was on the last show, I felt like my picks were right, although the outcomes were wrong. Now, we said a million times on this show, you need 2 things. You need to make the right pick, and then you need that little bit of luck to get it over the line. So that Inter Miami Al-Ahly game, I had BT to yes, finish 0-0. Still the right pick. This time, a couple of things went my way. But even then, even though they went my way, they were still the right picks, Baz. So I was really happy with all of that. The Benfica Auckland under 7 goals was a bit of a funny one because I say it kicked off 6 hours before it finished with a massive rain delay. Under 7 goals, finished 6-0. Beautiful, never in doubt. I mean, the 6th goal was 97th minute or something stupid. It never, ever looked like it was going to lose. It took Benfica 53 minutes to score a goal. The goalkeeper did make one save as well, by the way, the Benfica keeper, which was one of my little bet builders. Flamengo, over 1.5 goals, team total. Turns out they scored 3 against Chelsea. That was 5-2 plus 250. We didn't fancy Chelsea at all. And Flamengo have been brilliant. I mean, hats off to Tiger for a start, who handicapped these South American teams really, really well. And I know a lot of people have been surprised at how good the South American teams have been. Esperance to Tunis, 15-4 plus 375 to get the win against LAFC. This was one with a little bit of luck because LAFC missed a penalty. But they missed a penalty in the 94th minute. So if you got chinned on a 4-1 winner in the 94th minute, you'd have felt unlucky. So my pick won the first 94 minutes of the game. As it happens, they won the entire game. So that was a great pick as well. And finally, what was my last one? Flamengo, -1.5 against Ulsan Hyundai. Was a little bit lucky again because they covered the handicap in injury time. They won 4-2, but were on top the entire game. It was the right pick. Ulsan somehow scored 2 goals just before half-time, and Flamengo turned it round. So, yeah, over the moon, 4 picks, 4 wins, and, yeah, a justification of me sitting here at 2 o'clock in the morning watching Moroccan fellas play football, Baz. How did your well-thought-out picks get on?
Average, I'd say. I mean, I've got a chance tonight to go 2-2, which would be a success, I think. I had the unders in the Chelsea game. Obviously, that was no good, but I also took the unders in the LA v Esperance game. And I've no idea how I managed to lose the Dortmund handicap when they went 4-1 up, only to finish 4-3. So that was a bit of a blow. The last one for me tonight is Al Hilal, sorry, in the team total. So I need Al Hilal to score 2 or more tonight to finish with a 2-2 record. Yeah, very, very average, as has been the case so far for me.
Connor is having a look at the CONCACAF Gold Cup tomorrow. It's Costa Rica against Mexico. And reckons Costa Rica are big at 5-1. So cheers for that, Connor. I'll have a little look at that. I've been following that tournament a little bit, not as much. I watched a little bit of Panama, Guatemala on Thursday night. I think we probably all did, but I enjoyed a lot of that at around about 3 a.m. Right, I think that's it. I think we can get onto these picks. We'll get onto the Dortmund group in a little while because there's some genuine madness to talk about that. The stage we're into now, we're looking at Matchday 3, which is obviously the stage where both group games kick off at the same time in a bid to avoid shenanigans that Germany and Austria spoiled it for everyone in 1982. It's never been the same since. So we're into the shit all get off the pot kind of territory. The games start on, we're doing Tuesday through to Thursday, I think, Baz. Where are you? Where are your games here?
So I've got 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought you said Monday to Thursday. So I've got 2 from tomorrow anyway. One on Tuesday, and then I finished off with a little treble covering the Wednesday and Thursday games.
No, we did say that, Baz. I just didn't pick any from Monday. I didn't fancy the Monday games. It's the Atletico Madrid PSG group. I just didn't fancy it. So if we're going on Monday, Baz, you can lead us off.
I'll fancy all of that. Me, right? So loving this. I might even tune in for this.
This is Group B. It's I'll give out the standings, Baz. We got Botafogo on 6 points, won both games. PSG and Madrid on 3. Seattle Sounders on 0. The 2 games on Tuesday are PSG against Seattle and Atletico Madrid v Botafogo. So out of all of that, Barry, where have you gone?
Yeah, so I've got to pick in both games. Starting off with Atletico Madrid versus Botafogo. Assuming PSG are going to go and beat Seattle, then Atletico are going to need to win this one and win it well to have a chance of qualifying. Botafogo, on the other hand, could top the group with a point. So all to play for in this one. The standout, obviously, in the Atletico games is the goals. 5 of their last 6 have went over 3.5 goals. In the 2 games so far, we've seen 8 goals as well in the 2 games in this competition. I don't think. I mean, it's looking a long shot for Atletico to get out the group, but I don't expect them to give up on it. I still think they'll have a go. I do think Botafogo might catch them on the break as well, though, potentially. So I didn't mind both teams to score in this. It's a tough game for Atletico. Might well win it. Might well not be enough even if they do. But either way, I just think we might get a lively one here. Even though Botafogo don't need the win, I just think it could be quite open with Atletico having to attack, Botafogo having enough to catch them on the break. So I'm going to take the goals in Atletico Madrid v Botafogo. Over 2.5 at 17-20 will be the pick for that one. And then Seattle v PSG. Obviously, PSG are going to need a reaction here after defeat the Botafogo last time round. And I think we're going to expect to see one. They were impressive in their opening game, the 4-0 over Atletico. And they are still one of the favourites to win the whole thing. One poor result's not going to change that. Seattle obviously are winless so far. They have scored in both of their games, scored 2, conceded 5. And the Atletico defeat could be a good comparison. And it's a pick I've landed on, which would have hit in that one as well. I think PSG will win here, and I think they'll have enough in hand to win comfortably. I'm going to take PSG to win both halves. It's 6-5 plus 120. PSG win both halves against Seattle. So yeah, that's my 2 picks for Group B tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much, Barry. Connor has gone PSG -3. That's a bold call. Connor's not messing about. I've into Tuesday's game, Baz, and starting with Group A, which is the Inter Miami group. Palmeiras in Inter Miami, 4 points each. Porto in Al Ahly Cairo on 1 point each. And what we've got here is Inter Miami taking on Palmeiras, which means anyone with half an eye can see, Barry, that the carve-up is well and truly on. We love a carve-up. This is one of the great things about tournament betting. The carve-up is on 90 minutes betting. Inter Miami are 9-2 plus 450. 11-8 the draw plus 137. 6-5 Palmeiras plus 120. Inter Miami were terrible in the first game. I gave them no chance at all in the second game. And they came from behind and knocked Porto over. The Lionel Messi free kick, etc. But yeah, what that means is both teams qualify with a draw. From our first preview show, Baz, we said that the organisers would like Miami to qualify. I think one of my pre-tournament picks, Miami to go through. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But I think we took Miami to get out of the group here. In Palmeiras, South American, no circumstances are they strangers to the old brown envelope, the South American side. The entire continent's built on corruption. So Miami performance for Porto surprised me. Palmeiras have been really good. As we've already mentioned, the Brazilian teams have been really good. But I'm more interested in the circumstances than the form. And like I say, the draw's on. And why would they not? Organisers are happy. Miami are happy. Palmeiras couldn't give a shit. Palmeiras will stay top of the group as well, which I think helps. It helps the carve-up because Miami are happy to qualify in second, where Palmeiras would like to go through. From a footballing point of view, it's top of the group. I think you have to take the draw, Baz. It stinks of a 1-1. Goal in each half, 1-1 draw. 11-8 plus 137, the draw, Barry. What are you thinking?
Well, I've got a pick in the same game. And unfortunately, I picked a side, and now I'm regretting myself because you've talked me into the 1-1 draw. Yeah, I mean, Palmeiras were my pick to win this group at a decent price. So really, that's part of my reason for backing them here. As you say, a draw would be enough for them to seal top spot. But I fancy them to go and win it. I mean, the other angle I looked at was goals and the unders in particular. Both Palmeiras games went under. And though Miami went over in their last game, I think they might have a tough time trying to break Palmeiras down, who are yet to concede a goal. And that form preceded the tournament as well. Palmeiras, 7 clean sheets in their last 10 games coming into this tournament as well. Having said all that, you get to the prices for the unders and the bookies are all over that. 4-9 for the under 2.5 goals. So it's clear the books probably think this is going to end up in a draw, probably a 0-0 or a 1-1. But because the unders price was so low, I've ended up taking Palmeiras as a pick, 6-5. I'm not sure Inter Milan will score against them. If it is a fix, then draw it is. You're right, but it's going to look terrible if that's what goes ahead and happens. So I'm just going to go with Palmeiras to win at 6-5.
Yeah, they can make it look good. Okay, so that's Tuesday. That's actually overnight, Monday overnight, actually, rather than Tuesday. The 2 a.m. game, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night on that one. Sorry, I was saying Tuesday because it's listed as Tuesday over here with it being 2 a.m. The next game I'm going to, this is the 8 o'clock games, so 3 p.m. on Tuesday night. If you think I was avoiding Auckland City, having demonstrated an expert knowledge of backing them. You've got another thing coming. This is Group C, which sees Bayern Munich on 6 points, Benfica 4, Boca Juniors 1, and Auckland City on none. And the game I'm going to go to is, obviously, Auckland City against Boca Juniors. Auckland are 50-1 this time out, halved in price from last time. 28-1 the draw. Boca Juniors are 6 to 1,000, which is minus 16,670 in America, if you want to bet on that. And the state of the group in this situation is really unimportant. Boca Juniors can qualify if Munich beat Benfica. Goal difference can come into play, but in such a lopsided fixture, it doesn't really matter. They're not going to be sort of watching like the last game of the season with Newcastle. They're not going to be watching other results, things like that. It's worth handicapping just as a standalone fixture. Now, Auckland lasted a quite remarkable 53 minutes against Benfica before conceding. The game finished 6-0. I would say the massive delay, it was like 4 or 5 hours, whatever it was. It's got to have a little effect on a team trying to run up a sequence of goals. The bookies actually this time round have done a better job because they haven't been good enough for me in the last 2 Auckland games. They've done a better job this time round. So it did take me an extra 5 minutes to get the angle, but I did it. Boca can match Benfica's total. And I think they'll just keep going for it as well. They're not going to, like I say, there's going to be no easing up in this at all. They're still live in the tournament for the majority of the game. Boca minus 5.5 goals. It's a shade of plus money, but it's 21 to 20, plus 105. I think that Benfica 6, Auckland 0 is a perfectly reasonable comparison. So plus money for Boca to run up a 6-goal win. Because Auckland won't score. They're not going to have to score 7. Boca Juniors minus 5.5 goals. I looked at the Benfica Bayern game and it was too hard for me. Because Bayern don't need to win. Bayern are through. They're a tempting price because they're better than Benfica. But all that shit's factored into it. The fact that they don't have to go and win the game is factored into the price. So I swerved that one. But I do think Boca can cover a 5.5 goal handicap, but
yeah, I don't mind Boca as well. They've been well supported, haven't they? I assume that's the same wherever they are.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, you're right. They're not going to take their foot off the pedal if they've got a crowd absolutely full of a stadium full of their fans cheering them on and that. So I can see Boca going for the jugular and running up a score like.
Next up, where have you gone?
Well, I've just got a treble left. So if you want to finish off whatever you've got, you got another one for Wednesday or?
Yeah, I've got a couple for Wednesday. I've stayed in the same group here for my next couple of picks, which is the Wednesday evening games, 8 o'clock, 3 p.m. And it's the Borussia Dortmund group, which is Group F, where Fluminense have 4 points, Dortmund have 4 points, Mamelodi Sundowns have 3, and Ulsan Hyundai are out on 0 points. And I've got one game, but the first angle I liked in this, this group had all the goals. This was yesterday's madness, a 4-3 and a 4-2 in the 2 games. But I like the win double on the 2 favourites. Dortmund are short to beat Ulsan Hyundai, who've been really, really poor. Dortmund are about 1 to 5. But Flamengo, in fact, the prices might have changed actually on this from when I looked at it. Flamengo looked like we're quite a disrespectful. No, it's not Flamengo. That's right. It's fucking Fluminense further down. Fluminense are quite a disrespectful 9 to 10, minus 111. Fluminense are better than Mamelodi Sundowns. So the double with Dortmund pays 13 to 10 plus 130. I just think both favourites win in this group. So get on involved in that. But to pick a game individually, you've just got to stick with goals. Get your ladders out, ladder out the goals in this. Mamelodi Sundowns are 14 to 5, 27 to 10 the draw. Fluminense are an unbelievable price to win this game. Fluminense had a 2-2 draw with Dortmund. They've then come off a 4-2 win. Both teams to score is ridiculous price at 4 to 5. minus 125. We liked Mamelodi Sundowns before the tournament from an angle of goals. Said they'd be lively, get involved in them to score goals. They're not lacking in quality. They've been really good going forwards. You've got to remember, though, Dortmund had them beat. They were 4-1 up, Dortmund. Had them beat, like they scored 2 late goals. So Fluminense still on a genuine form line, a far too bigger price. But both teams to score. Fluminense are vulnerable on the break to this Mamelodi team. Both teams to score is a great price, Baz. 4-5, minus 125.
That's probably a
I've
good
got one more pick. Do you want me to throw that out before your treble?
I think it's probably a good time for me to chuck me treble out because it includes 2 of those that you've just mentioned. So it includes that double you've just mentioned. So I've got Dortmund and Fluminense both to win. And the third one in my treble is Monterrey to beat Uruguay Red Diamonds. So Dortmund to beat Ulsan, Hyundai, Monterrey to beat Uruguay Red Diamonds, and Fluminense to beat the Sundowns. 3-1 for the treble.
Nice.
To get me through the last couple of days. So that was where I have ended up.
Okay. Last pick here then. It's a bit different, but it's a player prop. It's a little ladder. We're going back in time slightly. It's the earlier kickoffs overnight on Wednesday. So 2 a.m. here, which would be 9 p.m. Eastern Tuesday night. And it's in Chelsea's group. I won't go through the old shenanigans because it is just a player prop. And it's from the Chelsea against Esperance de Tunis game. Chelsea 3-10, minus 300. The draw is 15-4, and Esperance are 10-1. Chelsea are left needing a win now after losing to Flamengo. And with Jackson getting sent off, I'm going to focus on Liam Delap here because he's full now. He's a full-on green light go to start as a centre forward. Certain starter, a game they need to win against a team, let's face it, they should be beaten quite comfortably. Liam Delap is not afraid to get a shot off. We saw him all last year running from deep, getting digs off from all over the place. So it's a Delap shots on target ladder is where we're going to go in this game. I looked at the goals market and I just thought there's more value in the shots. Over 1.5, we're going to start with. Is 6-5 plus 120. Over 2.5 shots on target is 4-1. And then we get to over 3.5 shots on target at 12-1. So just 3 rungs on this one. He's very direct. For reference, the line on Chelsea shots on target here is 6.5. So if you're looking at an over there, you're looking at 7 Chelsea shots on target. I think it's reasonable to think Delap could get 2 of them or 3 of them. Maybe 4 at 12-1. So yeah, I think Delap. It seems like a good time for him to get his first goal, that kind of thing. I think he was round about 6-5. He was a bigger price than the likes of Pedro Neto and people to score. So I just thought he was interesting, probably slightly overlooked because, like I say, 100% starter game they need to win against a team they should be putting 3 or 4 past. I think Delap's going to be live here, Baz. So we'll get up the ladder to 12-1, Barry.
Like it. Nice to chuck a ladder out.
Beautiful. And that's me all done. Nothing else to report.
Joe's in the chat saying he thinks the Brazilian winner is nailed on. How you feeling about that? Have you any thoughts on where the winner's coming from at the moment?
Well, they have been good. They've been better. We knew when we previewed it, we did say they're going to go all out. You didn't know how the European teams were going to approach it. Some of the games look like everyone's going full tilt. There's a lot of endeavour. There's a lot of quality. There's a lot of passion. They're trying. But it means something more to these South American teams because they're trying. It's the big brother thing. They're trying to put one over for their continent over what they perceive to be the big fancy European teams. But they've approached it with a lot of quality. It's not just all thud and blunder. And I think they have been very, very good. They're probably still likely to get caught out by somebody. It's in Real Madrid tonight. Real Madrid had a man sent off for 6 minutes. It was a really good game. I thought Pachuca was so unlucky. Solomon Rondon is fucking quality, by the way. I'd have him back at Newcastle in a heartbeat, Barry. In an absolute heartbeat. I'd drive over to Caracas and bring him back myself. Absolute top-notch. Someone like Madrid or PSG will probably end up bumping off Flamengo or Fluminense or Palmeiras, whoever it is. Might be wrong. I don't really care. I quite enjoy seeing a Brazilian team play, especially if it's Flamengo, because we were all over them at 33-1 and 11-2 to win to reach the semi-finals. But no, they've been excellent, and I know a few sort of football nerds have been. I'm very surprised at how the Brazilian teams have gone and all that bollocks. But yeah, maybe Baz, you try watching it, you might enjoy
it. I might do by the time we get to the semi-finals, possibly. Hopefully it's not 4 European teams by that stage. I'd quite happily see anybody but the European teams. I think my disdain for the tournament is a lot more to do with the whole financial side of it. It's just purely here for financial doping of those big sides again. So yeah, I'd much rather see someone from South America pick up the trophy. I'd rather see Mamelodi Sundowns go and pick up the trophy than see Chelsea pick up another £100 million check for winning this shite.
At the risk of having to issue another apology, I think our old mate Kennedy was playing on the left wing for Pachuca earlier on as well. He had Kennedy written on his shirt with one N, and he had those big calves that he used to have. Now, someone can YouTube us and tell us that it wasn't him at all, that it was Terry Kennedy from Stockport. But it did look like our old Brazilian. I liked him as well. He was good fun, Baz, Kennedy. But Rondon was top class tonight. He gave all the Madrid defenders fits all night long.
Yeah, good news, Malcolm. Good news for the listeners, at least, is that the next episode I will be AWOL. I will not be around. I will be in Berlin, in Germany. So that's good for the knockout stages. You can go solo and nobody has to listen.
Mind us why it's good?
Well, just I feel like I'm bringing the place down a little bit with my.
Yeah, we all feel like that.
And I'm feeling a bit bad about it. Just, tune in next time, listen to Malcolm and be safe in the knowledge. I'm having a bloody great time drinking loads of beer and eating a big pork knuckle or something. So I'll be a happier man come Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'll be back refreshed, rejuvenated and ready to fire into these semi-finals.
There's no way after a weekend on the piss in Germany you're going to be refreshed in any way, Barry. I've seen you drinking that stein of lager with a pastrami sandwich chaser, and you weren't refreshed the next morning, let me tell you, Barry.
I was fresher than you.
The opposite of refreshed.
Definitely fresher than you.
Yeah, you were fresher than me, actually. So, yeah, it's the round of 16 next time out. I might sniff around, see if I can find myself a co-host. If anybody fancies it, if anyone wants to come on and display more enthusiasm than Barry, drop us a message. And there's a little Barry-shaped box on the right-hand side of the screen there. You can come and sit in if you want. Bob D saying tickets for the quarterfinals at MetLife going for $900. So yeah, that's kind of tells you people have got into it a little bit more, according to Bob, because they couldn't give the tickets away. We were talking about it last night. They were, I think they were giving away 4 tickets to students. If you bought one, you got 4 free ones and stuff like that. But well, I enjoyed it. I continue to enjoy it. There's a game takes off in 13 minutes, Barry.
The fact people are being charged $900 tells me a different story to what it tells you. Fuck FIFA. Fuck them.
On the secondary market, that's not FIFA. That's the black. Don't, by the way, says you, who does nothing but sell gig tickets, NFL tickets and all sorts at massively inflated prices. Sit there in your ivory tower, Barry, because I'll come and push you clean off. I'm not fucking buying it, and you shouldn't be selling it. Right, come on. Anything else to say before you get yourself in trouble?
No, I'm absolutely dehydrated here. What happened to our drinks?
Oh, shit. I'll tell you what happened. Because I was too late getting out the bath and I was sweating my tits off. I had an iced coffee here, Baz, and I necked it in the first 10 minutes of the show. That was for the hydration break. We forgot about that.
Now. Don't worry if I pass out on my way to the sofa.
All right. I need to crack out the defibrillator. I'll message your lass and she can come and restart your heart. Right. Thank you very much, Barry. Have a lovely time in Germany. Sorry I couldn't make it, etc. But yeah, someone's got to hold the fort here and keep everyone in winning picks. I'm sure you can post some stuff online. Let us know how you go. And I want to see steins, pastrami sandwiches, pork knuckles, all that sort of good stuff. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Was always fun and games. I look forward to people correcting us on YouTube. Barry, I'm putting my hands in the air. If you get ready to press the buttons, Good luck with your picks, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.